On September 12, Steam began life as a way for Valve to control the patching process for games like Counter-Strike, as well as curb cheating and provide easier access to any content the developer produced. The release of Half-Life 2 is arguably the reason Steam is what it is today, and the game's dominance of the storefront reflects that. Valve didn't want you to forget, to play the universally acclaimed shooter, you had to sign up for Steam. Ragdoll Kung Fu and Arena become the first non-Valve games to hit Steam. This was big news, marking the platform's shift from being essentially a downloader and server browser to a proper store. Now we see Steam really starting to take shape. The then novel concept of digital sales is born, hinting at what was to come. Free demos and HD videos joined the catalog. With almost 100 games available, the issue of visibility starts to rear its head. A proper search functionality, integration of Metacritic ratings, and filters like top sellers and new releases make the storefront a whole lot more usable. The addition of community forums is Steam recognizing its user base as an asset like any other. Browse by genre links and a greater focus on the new releases list make keeping track of Steam's ever-expanding catalog slightly easier. Meanwhile, the Spotlight feature, the image slideshow, and the large banner ad grant select games prime exposure to Steam's 20 million-strong user base. The addition of the under $5 and under $10 categories signal the beginning of Steam framing games as impulse buys, forming the basis for the notorious Steam backlog of cheap games you'll probably never end up playing. Discounts are now presented as percentages, making it significantly easier to spot a bargain. The Steam Stats activity graph reminds visitors just how big Steam is getting, while the addition of Mac games marks Steam's first push to expand beyond the Windows PC market. With its library growing to over 1,000 titles, Steam introduces a recommendation widget to simplify discovery and combat the too many games conundrum. The growth of DLC sees the addition of a downloadable content filter to the new releases list, as well as DLC and demo labels added to the top left corner of game thumbnails. The Steam Greenlight initiative rolls out, establishing an increased focus on openness while at the same time exacerbating the flaws in Steam's curation. In advance of SteamOS, Linux support comes to Steam, taking over Mac's slot on the navigation bar and earning itself a tab on the Featured Games widget. Big Picture Mode arrives, too, the harbinger of Valve's ambitions to enter the console-dominated living room. Experimentation continues with the advent of early access, though its initial niche appeal limits its prominence to an announcement banner and a new search category. The recently updated widget reflects the shift from games as products to games as a service. Linux concludes its short stint on the navigation bar, not surprising, given the lukewarm response to SteamOS. The end of 2014 saw the Discovery update, more or less introducing the design we know today. Personalized recommendations adorn the front page, from Steam's own Discovery queue to the suggestions of popular community curators. 2015 added a hardware section to support the Steam controller, the Steam Link, and Steam machines, while 2016 introduced a VR category to accommodate the release of the Oculus Rift and the HTC Vive. Steam doesn't look intensely different today than it did last year or the year before that, but boy is it. Steam Greenlight is gone, replaced now with Steam Direct, which allows anyone to submit a game to the store, no community approval required. And now it's just a game in UI.